So I've known this since a young age, and I understand the power of like contracts and life circumstances and the Akashic records and all that. Though I have a couple messages that I would want to share if I was to pass away today. And one message would be to repeat like an old wise tale, right? Of like, live each day like it's your last. Like, really respect your life. Understand your body. Respect all life as your own, as better than your own. Attempt to seek God. It's your free will. You choose. You say, okay, God, I don't believe in you. If you're real, show me a number 3 over here at this time. Or like, you could just make up weird stuff, in your own head. I call it in your closet. It's between you and God. Okay, it's your private little thing. Work out with God. Be like, hey, God, if I get a phone call at 6:11, that means somebody loves me. Or that like you love me. And you're real. And I want you to create something on your own though, I also encourage people to do things that you think aren't going to happen. Like that, like play, and though also like you'll know when you're being unrealistic, so like try to create like a slight space, but also like don't force yourself to be a believer either. I'm just asking for those of you who haven't played and explored in that way to explore in that way, and to trust in the power of ask and you shall receive. So create a space, and like you can even do this with like other things that you really want. Like play with like, oh God, I choose a coconut, please God, coconut. You might be surprised how many times coconuts pop up, right? Like I'm just using that as an example. I have had my own personal experiences of praying for bread and water, and exactly bread and water had appeared at certain times that I was just chanting in my closet. I'm speaking mainly from my own personal testimony, not from things that are like bashed into me. The third thing that's coming up has to do with children. And I'm hearing about do not be fearful about bringing children, and know that it's important for these high vibrational souls to come in and to be teachers to us and healers to us. They are the future. We are to take care of them and nurture their minds and their bodies and keep them sacred, and have a temple. Let the earth be their temple, and show them how their body is their temple, and that we create safe space and we are not blinded, and that we sincerely choose and allow only safety for these children. Woo! That was all triggers for me, showing me all of like the other stuff I've been shown about like spirit cooking and Aleister Crowley and the cake of light. Disgusting stuff. Disgusting. It's beautiful and it's interesting, yet at the same time I'm like, I can't help but feel disgusted. And it just feels like the powers have been used for wrong. And there's only one face that comes to mind, that's Revelations 9:11. And honestly, I've had people tell me that it's a girl soul, and it's really funny because all the spiritual TV shows, right, like all of the devil work TV shows like Lucifer or whatever, like they talk about the spinal fluid. And they talk about like all these things. I call that hidden in plain sight. But again, your consent. How many times do I have to repeat about your consent, okay? You can know that this witchcraft, this manipulation is going on. You can be like, yeah, I know the television does mind control and flicker rates. I know that there's patents on that. I know. And then you still participate with the flicker rates? Hello? Oh, I know Facebook and my phone is listening to me and giving me powerful suggestion ads. Oh, please give me more. Or like, you understand? Like, it's so deep. I wouldn't be surprised if I get exterminated for this. And yeah, I do believe in weaponized diseases. I know that from my Mother's Day video and MRSA. And all these other things. This disease, it feels a lot like MRSA. A lot. I can feel it when it's energetically like in the air and on my hands. Like I can feel it. I'm very, very hypersensitive. And I've been that way since I was a little girl. And honestly, there wasn't like a lot of support for me when I was little about like the spiritual part of the human existence, you know? And like spiritual part to me is like more of the feeling part, you know, like the part that like nobody else can prove to you, but you have like this deep feeling like, I think this person's a liar. I like to also call it the Holy Spirit. Like Holy Spirit in me like knows like that guy's no good. Even though like my inner kid self is like, oh come on, that's not true. That's a great person, you know? But like deep down, that little voice that knocks, yeah, like that. So I always wanted to use my life to like help the children, which is why I became a mermaid. Like all my sexual abuse and my childhood mentality being messed with, I like to create a fantasy brought to life to like help serve children. I understand my tail turned dark. However, that is like a symbolism of like what happened to me on my journey as a mermaid, like how kids would pull my tail and rip my hair and, you know, rip my scales off the tail and say that I'm not real and that real mermaids don't wear makeup or have nail polish and would just pick on me and just like ride my tail and like nearly drown me. And then like there was like boob grabbing and then parents would just laugh. I mean, there's like a lot of shadows, so I kind of enjoyed the transformation of the she creature, and I also like on a soul level really resonate with the sirens who sing and lure, and yes, all the dark parts, you know. I really embrace like seeing and understanding the shadows instead of running away from them, because I know that God is in the shadows too. And there's a lot of you who are like really religious and like you really know like these scriptures and these words. Though are you like literally like living and embodying them? Like I feel like God is giving you this information and been like programming you and preparing you for this moment in your life, your entire life. And it feels like the entire future depends on all of us. And all of it is our beliefs. Do we believe that we are to be slaves over our government? Are we to be slaves to a society that says that we have to work? Or that we have to be in this way or that way? Yo, Rothschild, I believe, said that I want a nation of workers, not thinkers. I don't think workers has anything to do with money or capitalism. Feels like soul slavery. Like where I own you and you do what I tell you. Like, and this is important because I told you to do this. Not because like it's important for you to plant trees and stuff like that, you know? Self-gain, control, manipulation. It's very deep and dark and disgusting. I'm sorry, but I cannot process and deal with this energy anymore. Like, I've been doing my best, okay? And, like, as you could hear before, I was being a lot more gentler and nicer and more loving. But as I deal with this abrasive energy, like, it's really fucking brutal, okay? Like, I can't even contain myself, as you can hear, okay? And just know that, like, I really wish I wasn't alone, okay? Like, I call upon the higher selves of all those who can actually assist this darker energy, even the guardian angels. Or anyone, God, let God choose. And please use the medicine. Create healing. Feels like the entity is, like, being chased after by a healer friend of mine. It feels like it's in the energy of like a hawk, and like she's trying to catch the hawk. Isn't the hawk a symbol of Horus? I don't know, I got a lot of homework to do, and I'm kind of overwhelmed by it all, okay? And I know that all of like the stories of mankind have been like created by like other people. There's so much being swept under the rug and swept like out of his story. His story, know your story, okay? Share your stories with other people. Understand the importance of it. Understand how important you are. Your 6 degrees of separation, I know that you can see and understand and connect to 6 people right now. Non-virtually, by the way. Yeah, make it easier. So now you can see some of the inner work that needs to happen, some other stuff that's happening. I'm thankful to have made it this far. Okay. Ho'oponopono.